Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. For those who are new, hello. My name is Olivia and I've been a type 1 diabetic for over 20 years. And back in January, so just about 5 months ago, I got started on the Omnipod 5 insulin system. Now, I am new to insulin pumps in general. I've always done self-injections, so taking that leap towards an insulin pump was a very big and risky move for me. However, me and my husband are thinking about having another child, and I wanted to make sure that my sugars this go around were a little bit better, and I was told that an insulin pump would make my life easier, more convenient, and help manage my blood sugars. So I got on board, and this is now 5 months in, and I have shared a lot of my journey with you guys here on YouTube, and I wanted to come here today because I feel like a lot of my videos about Omnipod have helped you guys, and that makes me so happy. However, recently I've had a lot of issues with Omnipod, and I felt that it was fair to my viewers and to anyone watching this video out there that you also heard of the downfall that I've been experiencing. So that way, if you're maybe looking to get the insulin pump, you can think again, or maybe you have the insulin pump and you're experiencing the same problems, you know how to act going forward. So regardless, thank you guys for checking me out today. Before I get into it, please give this video a big thumbs up. It helps me and my channel out, so I appreciate if you do so. And let's get into what has been happening with my Omnipod. So a few days back, I put a new pump on and everything went fine. Put the pump on, I went to bed, and at midnight, my Dexcom started beeping off that my sugar was high. And I'm like, well, that's strange. Usually my pump does a pretty okay job at making sure my sugars are regulated below 300. And it was over 300 beeping at me. And when I looked at my Omnipod, it says that my pump, which is right here, my pump is not communicating to my controller. The controller is that little phone device they give you to give yourself boluses. So I tried restarting the device. I tried restarting the device again. And I tried holding the controller to my pump to make sure it could read. Well, after a few minutes of that, my sugars just kept getting higher and higher. It said, would you like to discard this pod? Now, I just put it on that day, but I took the pod off and I restarted a new one. So I came out and, it's midnight, 1 in the morning. And for those who don't know, I have toddlers, so I'm exhausted. I'm out here, I put a new pod on, and I try connecting it, and it would not connect at all to start. So then I discarded that pod, and then it happened a third time. I tried connecting, it would not connect, and I had to discard that pod, which led me to having to throw away 3 pods, which means 3 pods of medication. And by this point, it's 12:30 in the morning, the night before Easter. I'm exhausted. I know I have a big day ahead of me, and I'm about ready just to say, screw it, I will just go back to doing my injections. So I grabbed my long-acting insulin out of my fridge and I was about to inject it. And I said, let me just try one more time. And that last time I got it to connect, and everything has been fine since then. So I called Omnipod today because I didn't want to call them on Easter. So I called them today, and they had no idea why any of this could happen. And on top of it off, they gave me a hard time about sending me replacement pods. And this itself was so frustrating because I'm spending a lot of money for my pods. I'm spending a lot of money for the medication. I'm spending a lot of money on my diabetes. And if the pod is failing, I expect them to replace it because they just took 9 days of my pods and medication away from me. Now, do I think that they should also reimburse me for medication? I do. But I know that's kind of pushing the line. I know they're not going to do that. So I had to battle the woman on the phone to send me 3 replacement pods. And it was so frustrating that I was having this problem because I am one day out of a holiday. So I have both of my kids home with me, both of them crying in the background. And I'm trying to explain to someone who can't speak well English what I was experiencing as a type 1 diabetic with an insulin pump. And it was just horrific and really just in the moment. And I know it was not that lady's fault. It's never the customer service agent's fault, but in that moment, I'm like, I got this pump for convenience. And right now, and at 12:30 in the morning when it was going on, it was just so inconvenient. It now has me wrestling the idea in my head about going back to doing self-injections. Because although the pump can be convenient, in the retrospect, I don't do shots, I don't have to carry needles, blah, blah, blah. It's also very inconvenient when it fails. And lately, I would say the past 2 months, I have been experiencing a lot of failures, and they never know why I'm experiencing these failures. So if anyone's experiencing this, leave it in the comments below, because I can't be the only person using this pump who's having these kinds of problems. I'm about to pop in a clip for you guys, because kind of a backstory: when the pods were failing, when they wouldn't connect to the controller, they were just beeping. And I was told before by Omnipod that when that happens, put them in the freezer and it will stop it from beeping. Well, as a side note, they beeped all night long, but luckily you couldn't hear it through the freezer. But I'm going to pop in my 3 failed pods sitting in my freezer so you could hear it just beeping off uncontrollably. This is like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. This is all going on. And trying to get a pump working, so frustrating. So let me pop that in so you guys can see a little bit of what I was going through the night that they kept failing. Excuse the look of my freezer right now, but those 3 pods are the pods that failed, and they are currently just beeping uncontrollably in my freezer. Okay, so you guys saw them just beeping in my freezer, I'm sorry, all night long, until the next morning. I guess they finally ran out of battery life and they stopped beeping, and I trashed them. I just don't know what to do with Omnipod, and it's so hard because I feel like I'm on the line right now where it's a cross between convenience and inconvenience. And I know that I wanted the pump to make my life easier through pregnancy if I were to get pregnant, but if I'm up at 1 in the morning, 9 months pregnant, having this problem, it's going to be awful. And I have to say, I never experienced that kind of problem, obviously, when I was doing injections myself, not relying on technology. I've noticed a lot of people in my comments before have acknowledged the fact that it's so hard being a diabetic, crossing the line into letting technology give you your medication and trusting it's going to be okay. And I'm starting to see that technology is not always an asset. It's not always great. And I'm really debating on stopping the Omnipod 5 insulin pump. And I feel like that was fair for me to come on here and share that with you guys, because I know I've said a lot of really great things about this pump, and I've said a lot of different things about my experience with this pump. But now I'm definitely getting to my point where I'm like, I think I'm just going to use the prescription now that I have. I have maybe 2 months left, and then going back to my old way of doing things and just hoping for the best. I have an appointment next month with a diabetic educator to go over other pump options. So if you guys are on any other pumps that you recommend, leave them in the comments below, because it would really help me out. I have 2 toddlers. I have a 4-year-old and I have a 2-year-old. And I really always love the idea of the Omnipod 5 insulin pump, because clearly it's tube free. And everyone knows who has kids that having the loose tubing is just going to get yanked and pulled on, whereas this is kind of out of sight, out of mind. I don't have to worry about them yanking it off so much as I would with tubing. So the Omnipod 5 had a lot of benefits, mainly because I had children. And now, you know, when I find myself up at 1 in the morning trying to get a pod to work, it's no longer easy. It's no longer just convenient. And the whole idea of having an insulin pump is for the convenience factor. And if you are looking to get the Omnipod 5 insulin pump, I just really hope you consider this video, because there's a lot of pros to it. And I have enjoyed a lot of aspects of this pump, but the past few months, I've been sent a new controller. I've been sent countless new pods, because I keep experiencing the issue where it will not accurately communicate to either Dexcom, or it will not accurately communicate to the controller itself. And to have this whole system work perfectly, the Dexcom, the Omnipod, and the controller all just need to continuously, properly, correctly communicate together. And I feel like Omnipod struggles with that. And the worst part is when you call them, they don't have an explanation as to why you're experiencing this problem. So I wanted to come on and do my job and explain to you guys what's going on with me and this pump, because I really hope it helps other people out. Because if there's people out there who have never been on an insulin pump before and they've watched my videos before saying how great Omnipod is, I also want them to see this video so that way they know what they're getting themselves into before starting this pump. Because diabetics know going on a pump is one of the biggest life changes you can make. So I think you need to be aware of all pros and all cons before making any life decision like that. So I hope this video helps someone out today. If it did, once again, give this video a big thumbs up. Leave it in the comments below your experiences. Maybe you're on an insulin pump that you love. Let me know. And I appreciate all that you guys do. And I will see you guys in my next video.